welcome, and welcome back to the channel. You know what it is? It's so pretty, Tony. We're here to rock the on the mic today. The recap of Missouri and LSU. It's your host, and today we're gonna get into this SEC. This matchup tonight, well, last night, because I was gonna do this video yesterday, but I decided to come to you today and pop this video off because I did Unrival last night with Keisha on the Players Club. Oh, Keisha from Cut the Ish, and so ran a little bit late, so I decided to pull this in today. But we know that the matchup between LSU and your girls from Missouri happened yesterday at 3 p.m. And the question was, did LSU handle business, or what happened with Missouri? Did Missouri put in a fight, put up a full game? Because remember, this is game two, and we definitely want to know where they are now. And with that being said, on the court, and a whole lot of lines in between with the Tigers. What's going on, Brian Lewis? Thanks for coming to the building. I appreciate you. LSU is looking for a perfect home court advantage, and they got to keep building on that with every game they have remaining in this SEC race that we got going on. While Missouri is coming into a hunger bowl game, they were hungry, but not hungry enough from the outcome of this game. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into it, trying to prove that they could compete at this level in this conference. This is such a high elite conference, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. We're gonna break down key matchup plays, and we're going to basically take an x-ray. We're going to look at this x-ray, and we're going to break it down and define bits and pieces of this x-ray and see what it looked like based on from tip off to the end of game. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button when you come in, comment, also subscribe, and drop your prediction in the chat of where you think LSU will end up with the last two games of the season. We know where they are. Will they finish out the season strong? Do they have another opportunity to be in a position to where they lose a game? But we never know. We about to find out, though. We about to find out. And those that watched the game, of course, you fully aware of what took place yesterday at 3 p.m. over there. And in the PMAC. I mean, you know how it rocks when it gets in the PMAC. Of course, we've had opportunities where we've kind of fought different entities or elements of the game by way of, I don't know, should we say it, let's get my face on the camera. Welcome, guys. Shall we say some of those downfalls in which I just said may have taken place in the PMAC? But and we can go back just briefly a little bit to the South Carolina game and things like that typically took place in the realm of a game that should have been fairly a easy contentment for the game and should have came out on the other end. But of course, nevertheless, we did not. But here we are. LSU played Missouri, and that particular game, I looked at it, I watched it, and I thought that was going to be one of those games where, you're going to have a couple little oohs and ahs, but ended up being one of those games where it truly, indeed, in fact, was a blowout. It was a blowout. We can't call it nothing else except for just that, a blowout. And I'm gonna get into it here just a little bit, because I wanna kind of figure out what Missouri was thinking at the time when they made some of those decisions to come in there and try to compete. Now, every player and every team that plays, you want them to have that what you would call intuition of wanting to play at a high level, high caliber game, but sometimes it just don't work out that way, guys. And it just did for our team here. Missouri came in, they tried to put up a good fight. They did everything that they possibly could to work through some of the LSU had for them, but it just did not pan out in their favor. Taking the game, and let's put up the stats here. Let's put up the stats. And let's enlarge that a little bit because let's find where I have this here. Let's enlarge that a little bit. Here we go. Let's enlarge that. Of course, LSU beat this team 108-55. It was a game at the end. It was truly, indeed, in depth. That's what she was defending and or competing the way that this time of the season is needed for the push. Soto had 11 points, 11, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and so on. We have Charlotte, which is Abby. Abby had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 turnovers. Slaughter, who is your dominant player, your leading scorer, and the it girl for Missouri Tigers, and she had 14 points. She was 3 of 12, 2 of 7 at the 3-point line, 6 of 8 at the free throw line. She had 1 rebound, 6 turnovers, and that spells trouble right there. 1 steal, 1 block. Taylor had 6 points. She had 6 points. She was 2 of 7, 2 of 5 at the 3-point line, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover and 2 steals. You have Thompson, who had 3 points. Tommy had 3 points. She was 1 of 2. Didn't shoot very much. She only had 9 minutes on the court. She had 1 rebound. Then you turn over and you have Vincent. Vincent gave you 17 minutes, and she was over. She could not help her team at all. 17 minutes on the court. You should be able to give me, I don't know, put yourself in a position to get to the free throw line, maybe. I don't know. Try to slash, jab, something. But she was 0 for 3. She took 3 shots in the game, and she was 0 for 3. She had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 1 steal. Thompson had 2 points. She was 1 of 2. She had 2 turnovers to go with those 2 points. So that's a 0 for me. And you have Smith, who had 5 points of 22 minutes. She was 2 of 10 from the field. As I'm calling off these scores for Missouri, you see, if you didn't watch the game, you can kind of basically look at this narrative and say, well, damn, what did they do? How did they help their team? What were they able to give to help their team out in this aspect? I'm going to tell you, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. But that's, we gonna kind of put that in one of those contexts where you can simply say, well, dang, maybe the team just had a hard time. Maybe they struggled. No, this is their team. This is their team. And we can't say what team belongs in SEC and what team doesn't. But if you're going to be in the SEC, and when you know that this is one of the best conference and the toughest conference known to man, coach, we got to figure out how to recruit a little bit more. And that's not to say that they haven't. But I'm sure there's some players that may have been missed that no one looked at. No one probably wanted to give them a chance. But I guarantee you, if you put them in a situation where they get to come and play D1 ball, coach, do your due diligence. You got to recruit for this SEC. This is a conference that is no holds bar. It's rough in this. It's rough in this joint. You got to come out swinging, kicking, biting, scratching, whatever it takes to try to get the win. And this right here does not spell a whole lot of effort. Well, let's not be harsh, Tony. This did not look like it spelled effort. When you look at the game, the team really did, however, try. But this league is just too much for Missouri Tigers at this moment. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and get much better players. And players that's there, do not take this personal. I am one of those. individuals that critique the game to its fullest. And sometimes we have to just know where we are. It's not to say that you're a bad player. It's just has to say that this team was not able to compete in or against LSU Tigers in the PMAC. So we have to be careful when we go to certain entities and what we're going to look like. That you don't want every team that you play, you end up in a blowout swing like this. Now, that's the scores for Missouri. They were shooting at 24%. They had 24% shooting. They were 16 of 66. Oh man, that's tough to swallow right there. An 11 for 44 at the 3-point line, and they're 67% from free throw line. They made 12 of 18, 25 rebounds, and just the 13 turnovers. All that spells that the team, this particular program, and I don't want to say players, but this particular program, where they are at this moment, is not a program that should be in the SEC. And I said it. It is what it is. You won't fight me for it. Go ahead. You're gonna be fighting the air because I said what I said and I meant what I said. And we're gonna get to LSU Tigers. Tigers. Now we know that there was a big to-do before this game and the game prior to this, with LSU playing Georgia. There were some things said by Kia J. Brooks that kind of rubbed some of the players, and you can tell in the game that it kind of rubbed some of the players the wrong way. It's gonna play the game, it's gonna do it right. Player in the playoffs to play hard, go. And so moving forward, your scores you had, Joyner had kind of give your starters as much rest as possible. You'll go ahead and get going. Let's see here. I got some stuff going on here in my text. Let's make sure nobody started texting me. Let's see. I got a message here. Got a message. Okay. So anyway, we want players to be on point, but again, not a lot of players. Your starters played a whole lot of minutes. They didn't really need to. At this point, you have to allow your bench players to play in a game like this to see what they can give you. We understand that this is one of those games where it's a lesser team, but this is the opportunity where you let your players that are bench players get an opportunity to get minutes in and see where they are, so you can critique them in game setting. We can play. We could scrimmage each other in the gym in practice. We could play 5-on-5. We could play 4-on-2. Go 3-on-2, 2-on-1, all the way down. Right, 5-on-4, 3-on-2, 2-on-1. That's practice. That's what you do in practice. You play hard. You play 5-on-5. You do scrimmage, but it's nothing like playing against someone else and not your own teammates in the gym going hard, because you have to look at the different looks of what teams are offering. And when teams are offering different things like that, you got to make sure that you're capable and able of giving your team the best version of you. And scoring, that comes with scoring, that comes with defending, that comes with being able to move quickly on your defense assignments and understanding your sets on offense. It's a number of things that go on, and it's a lot of things that play in your mind when you're playing the game. And sometimes when you just go blank, we know it because you don't look good at all. You don't look good at all. But Johnson, Zakiya had played 28 minutes. She had 17 points. She was your leading scorer behind for Wiley, of course. But she had 17 points. It was great for her to score the way she did and be able to finish offensively around the rim. And that's what we want for Zakiya. Zakiya finishing around the rim against big teams is major for her, being a small forward in there. We know that she is a 3 that is playing the 4 position right now. That's where we have to put her to get the best player, or to get the best out of her. So the best player, get the best out of her, and also be able to board the best that we can. And apparently she had to have been one of the best boarders on the team in the beginning for Moki to even put her in that position. And so this also allows her to play because ultimately she would be playing in Flage's spot, right? So what better way to have her on the floor with Flage and Michaela Williams along with Jada Richard by putting her down there in a post and letting her go to work. But we do know that if she has to step out, hedge out, take a 3-pointer here and there, a couple of midi shots, that she's capable of doing it because that is and truly in fact her position. So again, she had 17 points. She was 6 of 9 of the night, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. She had 14 rebounds. So there is your double double. Double double is something that I've been looking for Zakaya to have as well. But again, when that isn't your true position, but you are willing to do what it takes for the team, and for the team to win, and to put yourself in a position to be on the floor to play. This is what we have to do. So these are the ramifications of a game that I say are very important, right? Because not a lot of people are willing to do that. I've trust me, I've been at that level where I've listened to players say, I ain't no 4, I'm a 3, or I'm really a 2, but I played a 3. No, if you were a 2, you are a bucket getter. You're a bucket getter. And it's not to say that the 3 ain't a bucket getter. The 3 is just a big guard that can get inside and bang, that can slash. That's your slasher. She gonna get in there and she gonna make you work. But we know how it goes when players are fighting against the system and don't want to, as you would say, cooperate. But I like it. I'm cool with it. What's going on, Jacob? I see you in the building. I got y'all off to the side here. Thank you for coming in the building. I appreciate that. You and Brian Lewis, man, I truly appreciate y'all. You said I'm buffering. Am I still buffering? I shouldn't be buffering anymore. What do you say? Laugh about butt off by Kelly. Who is Kelly? I want to know who is Kelly. They all were celebrating each other. Yeah, they were celebrating each other. Okay, good. Yeah, I think I had to move. I had to move my mic a little bit closer. I'm gonna have to get the mic that I have at home. I'm gonna have to get another one like that because this one just seems to be doing some weird stuff. And then when I turn it up, I kind of hear an echo of myself. So yeah, it's just time to get another mic. The one I have at home is really nice. But anyway, this is this is my away mic, my travel mic. But it's I'm letting it work for me. I know that ADP is on. Tell ADP when she get off, come on over. I'm still here. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be on. Or maybe I'm gonna get off before then because this really isn't a big long show because LSU just put bell to ass at the end of the day. And that, I mean, that's what I can say about it. But you have Jada Richard, who played 34 minutes. She had 10 points. She was 4 of 10. It was good to see her score because she struggled in the last 3 games scoring the way she needed to. So at the end of the day, this is good. I mean, she struggled in the second game against Texas. Then she struggled in the game against of course, South Carolina, and then in Georgia game. So this was good for her to come back and be able to put some points on the board and see her be more of a threat in that capacity and make, of course, players respect her shooting game. So she had 4 rebounds, 6 assists. She was close to a double double from the assist standpoint. 2 turnovers, which is good to see that less. Her having no more than 2 is all I expect from her, even in big moments. Just can't turn the ball over, or even so more so games like this is it gets kind of scrappy, and when it gets scrappy, you run into situations like this. Also, she had 1 steal. Michaela Williams. Michaela Williams. Glad to see her come out of her slump as well. I need Michaela to be Michaela. And right now, Michaela is not Michaela. And to me, that spells something that's going on in the camp because Um, we've seen Michaela take over games, and it's hard for her to take over games right now with the way I see things are playing out. Just hang in there, Michaela. If you ever see this video, if you don't, or someone else sends you a message, do know that I see you. I see you. I need you to come out of whatever slump you in and don't allow anyone to dictate your game and how you maneuver and perform. Because when you do that, then you set yourself underneath the table instead of standing on the table, is where you're supposed to be. Okay. So get it right, girlfriend. She had 12 points, 10 rebounds. That's your second double double player on LSU for the night, for last night. She had 4 assists, four turnovers. Again, she's been fumbleaya, and I need her to stop doing that as well. 4 steals, 1 block. And then Flau'jae Johnson. Flau'jae played 22 minutes, which was good. She didn't need to burn too much energy. It was one of those games where she wasn't needed a whole lot. Again, you allow your bench players to truly play. And I'm glad that to see that the other minutes that she didn't play, where they went. And we'll get into that in a second. But she had 16 points. She was 6 of 15 from the field, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and she too had 4 turnovers. 8 turnovers is just diabolical in a game like this. We can't have turnovers against a team like this. But again, I do understand, because the game gets scrappy, right? And everybody wants to be a bucket getter. Everybody wants to be able to maneuver around. Everybody wants to get to the cup and not truly pass. I did see some moments where passing ability is definitely um, at a high caliber for LSU, but it just seems like when we really need it, there it's not there, and I need them to not get into those zones or those mind crafting thinking when they're not getting where they want to be. What's going on? What's going on? I see you, ADP. What's going on, boss man? I see you checking y'all. I thank y'all for coming in the building. I appreciate you. I truly appreciate you. Truly appreciate you. Hey, ADP, I was just saying that if you were still on, I was gonna come jump on there. But I was on the road, and then by the time I made it here, it was time to get online on the mic. But you're more than welcome to come up. Just go ahead and shoot me a little message here, and I'll let you come on up. Um, Jacob, my man, I sure hope you are done with all of your schooling, since I see you back in the chat. And I hope you pass your finals. If you didn't, we're gonna have Auntie ADP get on your case, so your grades better look good. So do know I'm gonna ask you about your grades. I'm big on grades. I'm big on students being absolute students and not just being a body, a figment in a classroom. So I'm gonna ask you about your grades. So do know that it's coming, Jacob. It's coming. Okay, moving right along. We have Kovar. Kovar played 9 minutes. She played the least amount of minutes. She had 13 points. She was 4 of 7 from the field, 5 or 6 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 1 turnover. Not sure what that was about. As I was watching the game, I didn't see or recognize anything different as to why she didn't get that many minutes, but it's okay, right? It's truly okay, because you had to give Divine some minutes, Bella some minutes. Um, Everybody had to play that game, and so again, Kovar, if you was feeling some type of way, don't do it, girl. Don't do it. What you say? Said, oh dang, my daughter just dropped. Hey, I'm just saying. Anyway, moving right along. Divine got in the game. Divine played 11 minutes. It was good to see her in the game, because she is absolutely almost one of the last players to get on the court. She played 11 minutes. She had 2 points. She was 1 of 1, because she only took 1 shot, of course. 3 rebounds. She gave us 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Bella MF and Hines, y'all. That Bella Hines, that's Keisha baby right there. I love me some Bella Hines too, but we're gonna let her be Keisha baby, because that's Keisha baby. Bella Hines had 11 points. She was 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 4 from the 3-point damn line. She had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and 1 block. Just about a full stat. If you take away the turnover and you put it under steal, she has a full stat line. Bella Hines is one of those energy players that I feel you just have to have on the floor. If you're not putting Bella Hines in the game, Moki, to me, that's a problem. You know why? Because she's an energy player and she finds buckets when everyone else seems to have difficulty with doing so. She always smiling, she always happy, and she'll go in whenever her number is called. Yeah, when a number ain't called, you see on the bench, she just answers. They get ready to call somebody. You see her kind of flinching, thinking it's her. I don't blame you, Bella Hines. Every chance you get, girl, get in there and put buckets, put belt to ass on the court. That's what you need to do. 4 of 7 is great, especially with 3 of those being 3 or 4 from the 3-point line. She is truly a bucket getter, and I hope Kim Mulkey uses her a lot come the playoffs. When you feel that your players, your big players, your ballers, your shot callers aren't getting it done, then you got to put old Bella Hines in the game. Put her in the game and let her cook. Lastly, full freaking Wiley. 28 minutes. Played the same minutes as Sakaya. She had 22 points, and she was your leading scorer of the LSU Tigers. She was 7 of 11 from the field, 6 of 9 from the 3-point line, and she found her rhythm again. And I need her to keep that rhythm moving forward, right? And I think the best way for her to do that is for Moki to simply just play her, give her a lot of minutes, let her play. I think for Wiley, when I think about her, and let's finish her stat line right before I get into what I truly think about for Wiley. She had 11 rebounds. There is your third player of the night for the Tigers with a double-double. She had 4 assists, 1 turnover. That right there is phenomenal to see. And she had 2 steals along with 3 blocks. Now, for Wiley, what I think about for Wiley. Let's move y'all over here because I got to see y'all a little bit better. Um, there we go. For Wiley, what I think about for Wiley. For Wiley is what you call a wild card, right? She's a wild card because it's not that often a coach get a player like for Wiley. And I think I'm gonna just remind you all of something that K-Sap said. Brother K-Sap said. He said, players in NCAA just aren't ready for a player like for Wiley. I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Because she has skills and passes that are so elite that the players just haven't caught up to that portion of the game. And usually when a player catches up to that portion of the game, it's typically when a player is like her senior year, junior, senior in college, but definitely getting into the playoffs, then they're ready. But if you aren't ready, you better get ready because the playoffs is here and you have to be able to catch every single pass that for Wiley is going to throw at you. And Mulkey, you have to let her in the game. We know that typically the first thing that happens with for Wiley when she gets in the game, defensively, she's going to get a steal. But offensively, she's going to go so fast, she's going to turn that ball over. She's going to turn that ball over. But for one turnover, for her to get herself settled in the game, guess what? I'm okay. And I'm going to say that to say this because I had a player. I had the 15U team for AAU. And we had some of the best of the best. And I had one player. And I'm going to have her come on. She's one of my players. She's an author right now. She's doing a fantastic job as a young woman. She played at Colgate and was one of the best players they had. Was it Colgate or was it a American? I think it was Colgate. I'll look. It's time passes. You forget. You have so many players. Sometimes you forget where some of them were. But She was definitely the highlight for her, for college, for her team, for the entire 4 years. But she was a player that the start of every game, I didn't know what I was going to get from her. I just simply didn't know. I would take every single game. I kid you not. Soon as the game start, we could be maybe a minute a game. I call a timeout. She was a starter because I needed her to be a starter because she was good. But she had to be settled in. The start of the game, every game, it's like, uh, and I call that timeout. I talked to her, and it was like, okay, I got you, coach. And then we get back in the game, and I had no more nervous butterfly player on the court. But some players are just like that, guys. It's nothing wrong with it. Sometimes you just have to settle them in. Doesn't mean you take them out. You just got to settle them in. Instead of me taking her out, I just call a timeout. I was never worried about timeouts because I knew I was always going to have a lot of them because I didn't need to call a timeout. My players were that good, i.e., as to why all of them went to college. All of them went on a basketball scholarship. But to whom much is expected, much is required. So we got to keep that in mind when we're thinking about players and where they are and where their skill levels are and what they do. And that takes me back to a player like for Wiley. Wiley is a player that Kim Mulkey just gonna have to just flat out just play her. She gonna have to just play her, right? Through the mistakes and all. If the mistakes get to be too many, I can see the look, bring her in, pull her out, have a conversation with her, make sure she's settled and humble, and you got to get her back in that game because she's going to give you something that you ain't never seen before. And there's so much more in for Wiley's tank, y'all, that we have not seen. Whoo! I'm telling you, I don't know what for Wiley has, but you can see she has so much more in her tank that it's when it comes out, it's gonna be unfreaking believable to see it. And you're gonna probably almost think that she's already in the pros. Why is she down here playing in NCAA? I.e., as to why Angel felt like she didn't need to stay back that extra year that she had because she was ready. And sometimes players are just ready to move on. They're ready to move on, i.e., as to why she left South Carolina and moved on to something else. Whether it have been LSU or another team, for Wiley has to figure it out, right? She has to figure out how can she play in the realm of NCAA with the players that, and I don't want to say dummy down your game, but players where she has to put herself in a position to, I don't want to say be less than herself. In other words, you can almost say that that's what's going to have to take place. But I say make sure you're doing all of those fantastic, great things you're doing in the game that you know you're going to do in the game, you're doing in practice for your teammates to get used to what you do. At the end of the day, that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen. And then she gonna have to throw them passes so hard and catch them off guard to now that way come game time and anything that they do, it's like, oh, look, while he's on the floor, we got to keep our eyes pierced. Got to be ready because we don't know when it's coming and where it's coming from. But you got to be alert. Wherever she is, you better make sure your eyes are on her because you don't know what you're going to get or how you're going to get the pass. But no, that one's going to come. It's either going to come to you or she getting to the cup. And I love that about her game, that she can get to the bucket at will. And she gets so dang on high. I don't know who said, but someone said, man, for Wiley keep going. For Wiley going to dunk that ball. She probably will. She gets up extremely high to be so small. What's going on? She wins. Thanks. I see you. Thanks for coming in the building. I see you. I see you. Moving forward, back to this game. First quarter. First quarter was The game was such a blowout. It's just hard to really break it down, but not hard to break it down. It's hard, but not hard. If you get my drift on what I'm trying to say, it's just this game was put in a way that somebody, somebody was gonna come out with a bloody nose if Missouri attempted to play even harder than what they did, because it got scrappy at times. But with LSU being as fast as they are and a quick scoring team, that's always one of those things where it's hard to say what will happen next other than another bucket, should I say? Bella Hines came in the first quarter and man, she just turned it up. She turned it up another level. The players fed off of her, and that's what I meant by the fact that we have to get her more minutes and we have to get her on the floor, especially during the time of the games when it seems like we can't get a bucket. We're moving too fast for ourselves in games like this because it's inevitable that they're going to blow the team out, whether they blow them out by 53 like they did or they blow them out by 25 or 30. It's going to be a blowout, and you just got to figure out a way to get it done. But again, Bella, and I had to write my notes, y'all, because when I look at stuff by quarters and I want to break it down in piece by piece, by the time I got done with the third quarter, I was like, I am not breaking down the fourth quarter, because that was just crazy. But in that first quarter, the Zakaya was just a rebounding beast. And we can say that even in the midst of big games, Zakaya can get in there. She can board with the best of them. She can board with the best of them at the end of the day. Let's just talk about it, right? We've seen her do it. We've seen her get in there, and she was the highlight of the first quarter for LSU against South Carolina. Let's not make no mistake. Let's see. I want this comment up there because I think so too. Hey, big girl, what's going on? Big girl said, I believe Lay had built up anxiety about the South Carolina versus LSU matchup. Now that it's past, she would be fine. Yeah, I can see that happening too because she want to play so well against her old team. I don't think mentally, self consciously, well, not mentally, but self consciously, you can say, oh, that she was just so erratic, because it's just mentally, like Big Girl said, the anxiety portion comes in because it's like, I want to show where I should have played more, or I want to show where I was able to do this, and I just needed to be afforded the opportunity. I can see that being said for sure. That's just players, period. Um, but Zakaya Johnson, we knew for a while it was going to be her. She's relaxed, and like you said, she's getting it done. I wish I would have seen this for Wiley against the second game against Texas. But again, she knew that the next game coming up was going to be South Carolina. So I get it, but I don't get it, right? Because when you're a player, and I've been there before, and that's in basketball and track. Track to me is the most anxietyest type of sport out there. That's where you get the most anxiety. I promise you, you get tons and tons of anxiety running track. I was so calm and so at ease playing basketball. I didn't give a darn who I was playing. It didn't matter one way or the other, right? But track gives you anxiety. You get so hyped and so pumped for the race that the minute you get on the line, and I'll use one event for example for me, right? Um, I was getting ready to run the open 400, the quarter. And me and this girl had been competing all season. She was a senior, I was a freshman. She was from another school, but I earned their respect, right? Because and it's just like any sport, basketball. You're a freshman, you got to earn your minutes. You got to earn the respect of the rest of the SEC if you're playing the SEC. Not just that of NCAA, but if you're especially in SEC, you're a freshman and you can't ball, or you go in there and you attempt to get it done and you don't play as hard as you need to play. I'm telling you, you get more than clown. You it make you want to move. Look at Della Rosario. Yeah, I threw that in there. She don't need to be in the SEC. I'm just saying that one more again, and I don't care who don't like it. She needs to bump down to maybe two-way or something like that. But anyway, back to this event. I wanted the race so bad. I wanted it so bad, and I'm going to tell you, this was regionals. This was regionals. I had done such a great job all track season long, and I wanted this race because I wanted to qualify for state. And boy, I was moving, I was pumping, I was moving, I was ahead, and I came across that right when I hit that 330 mark coming around that second curve, a monkey jumped on my back. If anybody knows what that means, and most runners know that once that monkey jump on your back and you can't move, God dog, like I could not. It's like I'm in my mind, I'm running, but I'm really not. It's like I'm slowing down. I can't, and I'm trying to pump, and I see everybody coming, and it's like, okay, one past me, two past me, dang, everybody done passed me. What's going on? And you see your team, they're over there cheering, and usually I hear my team, but I don't hear my team, and they said, run, run. I was like, I'm going as fast as I can. Monkey jumped on my back, guys, and I could not move. But you know what? It was God. God said it wasn't my time yet. And that's how I saw that. I didn't see it no other way. When I was finished that race, I was like, and my coach, all he could do is look at me and just laugh. He said, that monkey got on your back, did it? I said, yes, sir, it did. That monkey jumped on my back and I couldn't move. He said, that's all right. You still got the mile relay. You already made it for the 4x2. Let's get the 4x4 out. Let's get the 4x4 out of the way, and you'll make it there, which we did. But I wanted that open. I wanted that open quarter so bad for state as a freshman, and it just wasn't in the cards for me because God said it's not your time yet. And so for Wiley, that's how I look at things. Right? We are as I want to say spectators slash podcasters slash commentators slash whatever you want to call us, right? We say things sometimes, but at the end of the day, for Wiley, when it's her time, she's gonna get it done. And I definitely see that for her. I think that for her, when she gets to the next level, you'll get to see a lot more dangerous for Wiley because it's just going to be difficult in the SEC for her. Well, in NCAA, I keep saying SEC because that's just the division at the end, right? But for NCAA, I just think that she's held back so much because she has so much in her tank to give and to show and offer the game of basketball. And I can't wait for her to get to the next level and see what she has in store for everybody because she's gonna have to pull all the guns out when she get up there. There's no holding back, or she gonna get done in just like any other player, right? She won't be no different from Angel, from Caitlin, from doggone HVL, anybody else, Maddie. Um, she just won't, right? I think she has the speed of a Kennedy Carter. She has the skill set of a Kennedy Carter, but she is for Wiley. She is not Kennedy. So by no means do you think I'm calling her Kennedy. She is not. She is for Wiley, and I am looking for Wiley to make that big name for her and make people fear her when she walks in the gym. And that will come on God's time. But maybe the freshmen she have that she running with next year when they have a season under their belt, they'll be ready for some of the things that she has to offer, and we will see that. We will see that, and I know that for Wiley is going to be ready for next year. I want to see Michaela Williams get back to herself, where at any given time she touched the ball, you know that she a bucket getter and she can get it done on both ends of the floor. even her defense to me has kind of slowed down, where she has been a big impact for LSU the last 2 years. And then this year it's just kind of, I don't know what's going on, y'all. It's something going on in the camp. There's something going on in the camp. But locker room stuff remains locker room stuff until somebody gets so mad or they graduate and they get so jealous. And then you start hearing about all the locker room BS and dramas, as we always do. But with that being said, we know back to per quarter, Sakaya played a phenomenal game. She was a big rebounder as well as finishing at the rim. You had for Wiley that you just couldn't stop. She came in and was just a shot maker. I mean, shot after shot after shot. As you can see, she has 22. Michaela 12 was never a defensive person. She's not as fast, but she's a defensive person, Brian. She is. Brian, she is. She ain't the best. She ain't gonna be that stellar defensive player that you could use her and she gonna be your straight lockdown defender. But she can defend, and she can defend better than what she's doing so far this season. This season is something different. There's something going on, Brian Lewis, and I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. You get into PMAC. I know you hear what's going on, Brian Lewis. I know you do. Y'all gotta tell me what's going on now. Don't keep it all for yourself. Let me know. There's something going on. Stuff that happens in the dark eventually come to the light, and we don't want it to come in the wrong type of light. We wanted to have more of one of those narratives that this is why this happened, or this is why this player looked like this. But again, you gotta let all that stuff, locker room stuff, stay in the locker room. Negativity stay where it is. When you get in between them lines, you have to just tune it all out. So I do get that too. Nothing going on. Come on, Brian Lewis. Don't be hiding. Don't be hiding. Something going on, Brian Lewis. I can smell it in the air. Yes, I can smell it in the air. As a Louisianan, I can smell it in the air. I know it. I know it. I know it. That's right, ADP. Yes, it is. I know something's in there. I can smell it. I can smell it. But however, she was a bucket getter in this game, and I can't praise. I can give those that were bench warmers a whole lot more praise than our starters. I want to say that for the starters, some of them that were struggling, they had a great opportunity to look well, and the bench players had an opportunity to come in and finish and get some things done. Big Girl says she says the problem with MK12 is Kim. Kim is, yeah, she's experimenting with MK and it's throwing her game off. She has played 1 through 5. Yes, she has. I do get that, and she's trying to explore because she doesn't have any bigs, and unfortunately, it's crazy that that's this season. That is a part of it, but I see something else. That is a problem. That that is a problem for sure. That's a problem for sure. But if she was paying attention to a couple of games where I know there was a game or two where she used Michaela and it was beneficial to the team for that particular game. Unfortunately, it takes her away from what she normally does because we couldn't get Sakaya to finish at the rim. Was she rebounding? Yes, because she finished. No. Um, you didn't have Kovar. Kovar wasn't there for you. And Joyner was just kind of doing her own thing. Knox would come in, and Knox is just wild Knox the way she is. Actually Sunday putting her down low actually helped. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. In certain games, it helps the team, right? Because it afford her to help out in the paint, get the buckets that we're missing in the paint, because buckets in the paint is a problem for LSU. And that's just because we just don't have the numbers when it comes to the bigs. And then the bigs that we do have, you point blank, you just can't count on them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. But that's what we are with that. Looks can be deceiving, and the players are probably exhausted. Um, Exhaustion to me is a state of mind. Some of them can get tired, and you can take those players. You bring them out for a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes. You give them a good bit of rest, and then you get them back in there. But I think for LSU, what I've seen this year, my personal opinion is one, we're going to talk about consistency. There is no consistency, so that's the talk about. That's the big talk. There is no consistency. If you had consistency with this team, I think it would look different, but you don't have any consistency, and that's the problem. Um, and that's not just with the players. It has to do with the combination of players, the combo that's on the floor, and that truly is a Kim Mulkey's problem. That's not a player problem. The players should be able to. You have some players that can get on the court and just play with everybody. But if you don't have the numbers and you don't know what the right combinations are, and you still haven't figured this out as a coach, that's a problem with the coaches and the coaching staff. They gotta fix that, and they gotta fix it quick. What Big Girl say exhaustion is what Ole Miss experienced. Yes, that was exhaustion to the T. To the T. Well, I said Georgia, but I meant Ole Miss earlier when I was, you know, talking about the team, the games where we needed for a while to be a big player. But yes, exhaustion is definitely what they had because we wore them out in the fourth quarter. They couldn't see past go. I wonder when they saw their hands and they waving their hands in their face if they saw just a mirage of fingers or if they just saw one hand moving because they were exhausted. They had nothing left. What's going on? I see you, Bernadette. Thanks for coming in the building, Chica. Thanks for coming in the building and hanging out with us. Yes, that was truly indeed exhaustion for sure, big girl. I think that God, hey, if she had to probably make one more bucket, boy, she probably would have fell over. She was so tired. But she had to play the whole game. She had to play the whole game. She came out for a minute, but just that time of her being off the floor, we as the Tigers, we did we do. We went on a run, and that was worked in our favor, of course. Working in our favor is something that we like. But the combination of what Kim Mulkey needs to make sure that she has, if she don't have that down by the playoffs, y'all, I'm telling you, we're going to look a mess. We're going to look a mess considering we should have an easy way over, but we'll see considering the bracket. If we went by the bracket that we have today, we should get through that bracket no problem. But however, it's the combos. And at this point in time, Kim Mulkey's been coaching long enough to know what the right combo is and who should be on the floor at what time together and who complements and helps each other's game. You can't tell me that she don't know that by now. Well, you can tell me because we've seen it. She don't know it by now. But she should. What you say, Brian Lewis? That's it. Say yo, salute. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. I truly do. Truly do. I appreciate you. Here we go. Let's take this off. We have Brian Lewis. Brian Lewis said, out of Kim's mouth, she said she asked MK12 and Flage to get others. Yeah, she did ask them to get more involved. But my thing is, Brian Lewis, I've seen moments in the game where other players are ready to play, are ready to get involved, but those two are cooking. So then the other ones now have to go back into reserve. And so when you're a player and you get settled in, and they're young, it's hard for them to kind of get out of there. Some, as being as young as this team is, it's something that they're going to have to learn. They're going to have to learn to stay ready. And one of the only players on that team that I know stay ready to where she don't have to get ready is Bella Hines. If everyone was ready like that, Brian Lewis, guess what? LSU would have no problems right now. In the couple of games that they lost in SEC, they wouldn't have lost. You gotta stay ready, because a player that stay ready, that brings the energy like that, offense and defense, that's a dangerous player, man. That's a dangerous player. I'ma give you a wrench. I'ma give you a wrench, Cottage. You better make sure you take care of everybody in here too. Want that wrench? I'm gonna get you a wrench. Give me a second. Um, but look here. It's about that time. I see folks are coming in when it's time for me to get up off this thing. So you telling me I need to push my time back to 6 o'clock? So y'all tell me what I need to push my time to, because I need to get y'all to come in the building and stay in the building. When you come in the building, make sure you hit that like button. When you hit that like button, also leave a comment. And when you leave a comment, also make sure you sub so you get notified every time I drop. That's the importance. That's how it works. That's how it operates, guys. Again, this is a channel where we talk straight facts. We speak the truth. And guess what? Sometimes the truth isn't what people want to hear. And I don't care who the player is. Everybody gonna get talked about. And whichever way they need to be talked about to be a better player on this channel. So again, for Wiley got a bag that we hadn't seen yet. And I can't wait for her to pull it out. And I hope she pull it out in the playoffs. Tell me this, chat. Tell me this, and this is for all y'all. What do you think for Wiley is gonna give us in the playoffs? We're gonna see a level up for Wiley, or are we gonna see the for Wiley that we got right now? I'm telling you, I think I'm ready. I think she's ready for a level up. Yeah, she should have another good game. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I don't know. I've been jumping on with Keisha, but we both might be on this game on our own channels. I don't know. We're gonna see if she puts it on the players. I think she has it set for the Players Club, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. ADP says, I think she will level up. I truly believe she will. I think she's gonna level up, y'all. I think we're gonna see a level for Wiley that will, like, man, because we already starting to see some passes that's just absolutely crazy. He said, I see her. Yeah, I see her. She is that. She is that for sure. It depends on the team. It does. It depends on the team's style of play. But look, Brian Lewis, look. Come on, we know the game, right? It's playoff time. Do I be concerned about the team, or do I get in a huddle and I say, look, be ready for whatever's coming, because I got a lot. Look, I'm coming at you. Be ready. I think if that conversation is had in a huddle, or when she first get on the floor, she done already told me when she give them that nod, they need to be ready, right? Because there's another gear, and I want to see Lay with that other gear. It's hard watching a player like her not be able to get to her full potential. And us seeing absolutely every 100% part of her game. Is for, well, at least for someone like me who's coached some of the best players in the world. It's just hard to see a player like her not get to that level where she needs to be, or where she is, but it's hard to come out because of, again, the caliber of players you have. But I want Lay to understand that your players are only as good as you make them. If there's a level and a gear that you have, you help them level up by doing the best, giving them the best version of you. Don't you think? Can you all agree with that? I believe that that is definitely key. Says I think Lay's game will grow. Yes, it will. Tony, y'all calling Unrival. Is Unrival's on tonight? Is it? Girl, looky here. I don't know. I think we are. I believe we are. Um, but I'm gonna find out for sure, and I'll give you a ring a jing and let you know. You let's see. You do your 100% believe that LSU is overrated. You you believe LSU overrated? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why you think LSU is overrated. I think that they're right where they're supposed to be. Reason being, those young players have shown something that nobody thought that they would be able to bring, and that's why I like that. Oh, it's at 6:30. You know what? I don't think we have anything scheduled, but if not, I can. You, if you want, you and I, we can call it final. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. We need to see what Vinyl gonna do. Uh, tell me back. Tell me, Cottage. Tell me why you think. I think with the young players, they have been able to truly ball, and it's one of those things where when you're young and you're growing at the same time, it's a great thing, right? Um, they have to mature, and what other way for them to mature is to put them in a blender. And you put them in a blender and they ball. This is typically what happens. Brian Lewis says LSU had a chance to beat every team they played. Yes, they did. They had a big chance, and they actually, the ones they lost, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. 100% don't believe they overrated at all. You clowning, man. Yeah. So we could do that, no problem. It says do not give college a wrench because I need to be able to. Oh, all right, big girl. Big girl said, "Look, we ain't talking about her tigers. Look, don't talk about our tigers in here, man. Don't talk about our tigers in here. We love us some LSU Tigers. Win, lose, or draw. That's just the way we rock. That's just the way we rock. Hey, check for me real quick, ADP, and see if you see a timeline. I don't see a timeline. I'm looking right now while I'm talking to you guys. I don't see where it's scheduled. So if not, we can put it on and we can have everybody just jump in on that. Let's see. I don't see. Nope, no one's put a time in there. I think Keisha's probably gonna take a break from that. If she did, I don't see it in the chat. Typically, it'd be in the chat already. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Nope. But okay. So no, that's it's not set. So we can set it. Well, with that being said, guys, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get ready to get up off of here because I'm gonna get us set up to call the vinyl game here. That's gonna start in about 23 minutes. Wait a minute, Brad Lewis. Bigger, I truly believe LSU will make a deep run this year. You know what, Brian Lewis, I'm in 100% agreements with you. I just think that this young team who is still trying to figure it out um, will find a way because they're hungry, right? When you're young and you don't truly understand the ramification of NCAA and you're there, you're getting minutes. You've got to play some of the best teams in the country right now and that you played against, and they're in your conference. So you know what you're looking at. There's only two teams you hadn't seen. Two, well, really only one team you hadn't played, and that's UConn. Right? You've played everybody else that's big. For as LSU, you played everybody else that's big. So the only team you didn't play is UConn. So you've played the best. So when you're young and you're hungry, you don't have no fear of a loss. You only feel the loss when it's happening. So you come in every game with the mindset of being able to finish and be strong and dominate, right? So you don't know what that feeling is of playing that particular team until you actually play them. So it can truly be something different. With that, let me get my butt up off of here. And I thank y'all for coming. Y'all are so doggone sweet. I appreciate you to the fullest. And once again, I'm so glad that you came to rock out with me. Of all people, yay me. But we're going to get out of here, y'all. Hey, I'm going to go set up that Unrivaled deal, and then ADP gonna come on if she got the time, and we're gonna call the game since she's in the chat. Even if she has to be on the other side of town and pick up her baby, she can get it from her phone. It says, Miss Tony, great stream today, girl. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I know sometimes people are, it's a few of us going on at the same time. And so everybody got to kind of pick and choose where they're going to go. I might have to pick a different time. But I think that this is a good time. This gives me, I come straight in from work. I got about hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I can jump on. But if I need to wait till 6, y'all just tell me if I need to wait till 6. But I do know that there's I'm making my way, guys. I'm making my way, and it's because of you, and I appreciate you. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. With that being said, guys, I am out of here. And you know what my word is of the day is, and I always tell you, and I'm gonna start off by saying again, thank you. If you came in and you didn't hit the like button, hit the like button. Also, leave a comment, because if it's something you want to talk about that we haven't been able to hit, or I didn't see your comment earlier, hit it again. And I promise you, I do reply to all of my comments later on. Like I will do it like in the morning. Sometimes I just kind of go through, see who I missed, and I will go ahead and I will respond to you. That's just the way I operate. I like to have interaction with my chat here and there via the comments. And also, if you hit the like button and haven't, please hit it. And you didn't give a comment but would like to, go ahead and leave a comment. And also, before you rock up out of here, hit the subscribe button so you're notified every time I drop. And with that, guys, I will catch you on the next rebound.